There's one very small but very important aspect of the domestic vaccine passport conversation that is currently missing. It's very worrisome. It should trouble a lot of people. And the conversation has to include this aspect, which is sunset clauses. So what is a domestic vaccine passport? Well, different people have different interpretations of just what it will be and how severe it will be. But the basic idea is that you got to show some form of paperwork, a certification, a QR code on your phone or what have you to gain access to restaurants, stores, movie theaters, gyms. Some people even want this applied to grocery stores. Basically that you can deny people the right to access food, to access groceries. That's how extreme, how crazy some people are willing to take this idea. And so what's a sunset clause? Well, we heard this phrase quite a lot in the post-9/11 world. So we had 9/11, and then people said we got to bring in all of these regulations and laws and so forth. A lot of people critiqued it as security theater, saying not all of this is actually necessary. We feel a little uncomfortable with this. It's very onerous. So here's what we got to do. We got to bring in sunset clauses with some of these provisions, meaning these laws on the books, they can't stick around forever. I mean, that would just be crazy. So they can only be on the books for 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or whatnot. And then once that time elapses, they have to be subjected to judicial review, or they have to be renewed in a way where people actually have to vote on it and so forth. A legislation, Congress, whatever, has to convene, has to deal with this issue. So the basic idea, this thing, it will go away in a couple years unless it's re-ratified, and then we cross that bridge when we come to it and we have that debate and that societal discussion then. I'm not hearing anybody using the phrase sunset clause or any sort of exit strategy when it comes to domestic vaccine passports in Canada and their advocacy for it. That is incredibly concerning. I mean, maybe you think, okay, I'm concerned, maybe there's going to be some sort of fourth wave, I'm worried these vaccines, they don't actually do their job, they don't work or what have you. You have some concerns. Okay, a lot of people have concerns, fair enough. So you think, I'm really worried, maybe there's going to be a fourth lockdown. I think that the best way to avoid a fourth lockdown, I want to bring in these domestic vaccine passports. I don't support that idea, but even if you do, are you actually supporting the vaccine passport just for this little hurdle, just to get us over the next little hurdle? Okay, fine, but what you should know is, well, once they're on the books, and once this is caked into the system, it's there. Do you want to be doing this 10 years from now? 15 years from now? I know everyone says, oh, what's the big deal? You have to carry your driver's license wherever you go, and then, there's the immunization chart in most provinces for kids going to school and so forth. It's not a big deal. Sorry, you're telling me for the next 20 years, for the rest of your natural life, you want to have to produce your phone or something, a QR code, whatever it is, to be able to just buy groceries or just go into the movie theater? Nothing like that has ever been done before in our society. So even if you kind of support the vague, broad strokes idea of it, or you're not too sure, but you are concerned about stuff that's coming around the corner, potential other waves, variants, and so forth, that's not the question right now. The question, based on the fact we're talking about this without sunset clauses, is do you want life to permanently be like this for the foreseeable future? If you're a business owner, do you want to have to badger people, every single customer, for the rest of time about this issue? Do you want to actually have to hire someone specifically to just deal with this issue? And by the way, risk fines yourself if you don't do it 100% perfectly, because some jurisdictions are already talking about this. They're not just going to fine the person who manages to get in without the proper vaccine, forging their documents or what have you, or, it's not just about turning away customers, which I know a lot of businesses don't want to do. You could also face fines for not managing this passport system perfectly. So there's a lot of questions, a lot of details that need to be worked out that I think people in Canada aren't seriously reflecting on yet, and we got to do it.